Alright, welcome back everybody to Let's Play Devil May Cry 3. This is mission number 14. We're going to go back to the classic costume this time around because we actually have Rebellion rolled up and an Ebony and Ivory, so it just feels right to do that.
Are you gonna go?
Yes, I'm going to finish him off.
Well, you might as well forget it, because you're no match for him.
Regardless, I must go. I had a chance to stop him before, but I couldn't. I'm responsible for all this mess.
Responsible? Does it bother you that much?
He's my father. Besides, who else can undo what he's done? A demon like you wouldn't understand.
Father and family, huh? Well, I'll go too. But you better hurry if you don't want me to take all the credit.
Love how Dante just saunters off. Like, if he's going to hurry to beat her, he's just not gonna be in a hurry to do that. But yeah, Ebony and Ivory, Kalina Ann, Rebellion, and Agni and Rudra. That's what we have this time around, and we have Swordmaster. Now, I actually use this setup all the time, except for Swordmaster. I usually use Gunslinger or Trickster or something like that. So it's nice to be able to get back to something I'm familiar with. We have a divinity statue there. Kind of pointless since we just customized. But I'm pretty sure we'll be able to visit it later or something, because otherwise it wouldn't make much sense. Or actually, no, there's a style adjudicator here. And that would have let me change my weapon to fit that style adjudicator. But since I've done them all, it's not that big of a deal. Now this level is actually pretty interesting because they change up the level landscape because the entire tower has been broken apart and elevated. So some rooms that wouldn't normally be at the end of some doors are now there. What was once a dead end is now open. These are my most hated enemies. They constantly move in a circle. They have a white shield effect on them. You have to bust that off before you can even damage them. Fortunately, though, we do have Swordmaster, so I can at least do some air combos and deal some deliberate damage to them. But since this is very hard mode, they take so much damage, which means you basically have to repeat the same combo so many times. And it gets annoying, because there's not a whole lot of fun ways to take care of these guys, especially without Trickster. Because at least with Trickster you can teleport up to them and just hit them or something. It's a pretty neat move, but it's so hard to pull off. You actually have to hit circle really fast. Or whichever button you're using. The rocket launcher proves to be helpful here. And if they're on the ground level, you can at least take advantage of that and do some ground combos on them. But forcing them to the ground is pretty difficult to do. There we go. Stick that sword in him. Oh, wasn't trying to pull it back just yet. Alright. That wasn't so bad. So how about that last cutscene, though? Arkham is Jester. I mean, it was pretty obvious, I think, except that when Arkham reveals himself as Jester, it's like an instantaneous transformation. It's awkward, I think, in the cutscene when he switches from one to the other. But it makes sense, because this game is all about duality. You have human and demon, and you have Dante and Virgil. One's more demon, one's more human. Arkham is essentially the human who tries to become a true demon, and Sparta is the demon who's tried to save the humans. So it's like the counter side of Sparta. Alright, hold still, guys. Got something for everybody. There we go. Yeah, here we go. Man, it's been a while since I could do something like this. He just teleported in front of me and I just happened to hit him. I'm not gonna lay claim to that one. It was cool though. I always mistime those dodges on that guy. Not that time. That time though. But at least my health isn't draining on its own. That's just the worst mission to fight one of these guys. So if you do jump in the air, you can at least summon him up there, and then when you're at the ground, you can just stay down there and it'll be easier to dodge his attacks. We can't forget to taunt. I've been forgetting to taunt for most of this Let's Play, except for the beginning when it was easier. Too early. Too early again. Ugh! Get out of here. Need some health back. But yeah, so you have Arkham, who's that stern, serious character with the burn on his face for whatever reason. And then you have Jester, who's completely the opposite of all that. So again, you have the opposing forces. This game is all about the theme of opposing forces, which I think I really like. I really like that about this game. It's sort of a theme that I enjoy when I see anime or video games or any movie or whatever. These series of rooms are actually a maze of sorts. They're very few actual rooms, but there's enemies to fight within each room, so it kind of opens the maze. And then you have to clear this room to open the way out, I believe. It seems that way. I mean, I've always come into this room first anyway, and it seems to have opened a door. And then the door is open near the end, so I just go out. I may not have to go in this room, but I always do. I think because it's a green color and it just sort of makes me feel like that's where I need to go as by our traffic laws. I love it when Dante's just had it. See, it opens that up. So. And this door won't open, so we have to go back the way we came. Make a right, go through the blue to the red, and we have more chess pieces to fight. And man, I actually really love chess pieces too. Like, I love how those are integrated into video games, because it's like the first real game, you know? Like, there's so much strategy and so many interesting references to society and political culture in a chess game. For example, you have the rook and the bishop. They move the exact same length of the table, but they go in two completely different directions. The rook, I believe, is a symbol of the state. You know, like a police officer, for example. And the bishop is religion. And there are two opposing forces of the same, like, political and religion, or religious, like, world of our society, because there's always a separation of church and state. So you have the bishop and the rook as representatives of that. And I really hate the camera angle in this room. I don't know why the camera wants to stay outside that door. It got really frustrating fighting this room because of that. Anyway, back to the chess thing. Then you have the king and the queen. The king is the most powerful, therefore it must live for you to live. But the queen is free to go and do whatever she wants because she's the queen. She's not required to sit at the throne. She's not required to adjudicate laws or even take... or what was it? What's the word I'm looking for? To hold court. The king is required to do all that, which really limits his movement, which is why he only moves one square at a time. The queen, however, can move any squares all the time, and considering she's the queen and basically the most protected and most powerful member of the royal court, she can just go anywhere. It's amazing. And then, of course, the pawns can only go straight ahead because they're only supposed to follow orders that the king gives them, and they really have no choice in their life, such as like peasants or fiefs or however you want to call them, people who, you know, farm food for the royal court, or you know, serve the royal court in any way, like washerwomen and that kind of thing. Those are all pawns. The only one that's a little interesting is the knight, because the knight, it moves in that L shape, which is different than all the other pieces. But honestly, I don't really have any sort of thing about that. It just seems interesting that they move in an L shape. Sorry for that to fall flat, but that's kind of all I have left. Still, I like chess. It's very interesting, as you can tell. I also like fighting these chess pieces because they're mostly stationary. They just take a real strong beating. There's no real tricks to them. Just watch out for what they do and then get out of the way. And more chess pieces. Move. There you go. One thing I really love about doing this Let's Play is that it's made me look and watch the enemies to learn the tells so that I know when to dodge. I honestly wouldn't be doing even this good if I was just playing it by myself to press buttons and make things happen. Actually, I highly recommend anyone who loves games, the camera angle, who loves games to, you know, try doing a Let's Play once or twice. Preferably with voice commentary if you can do it. If not, text is fine. But don't leave no commentary, because then it's just a gameplay video, and unless you plan on doing like an amazing skillful or stylish combo, or like defeating a game on a super hard difficulty, those are very boring to watch. Alright, I think we are almost out of here. We go to the blue room? Yeah, we go to the blue room because we make this left here. This door is open. This door is open. Some more chess pieces, but that's the last door right there. Let's get this bishop out of the way. I shortened that combo on purpose because I knew he eventually was going to use that fireball spell on me. And this doesn't do any good. You just continue doing that combo so you get burned. I do like when you can throw your, when you throw your sword, you can do jumping kicks. You can do a ground side kick. And all the while, that sword is dealing damage over time to the enemy you stuck it in. Side dodge to avoid the laser if we got hit by the other laser. One thing I often forget is the timing in which you can do different combos with Agni and Rudra. Because there's like, I think there's 3 different kinds, and the one I go for is, I want to do triangle, 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 pause, triangle, 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 and then keep mashing triangle as he does that slashing left or right thing. Oh, I hate these guys so much. I would still rather fight these archers than those holy ghost looking things. I don't actually know their names. I should be more responsible and look that stuff up. That's what I should do. But I did not do that this time. I try to use the Dance Macabre move as a sort of trickster dash to go through those things, but it doesn't work. And then hitting them doesn't matter because they're going to shoot you anyway, so I decided to just leave them. Leave them. I'm not required to destroy these guys. I can move through the archers, arrows, and I can get to this portal without worrying about them. Otherwise, I'd probably die. Love Planet. Remember this place? Still trashed the way we left it. No furniture. I've always loved that bloodstain too. It's like, who is being dragged to the door like that? Oh, red orbs. Believe it or not, this is actually the end of the mission. We're done. Motorcycle nunchucks. That is actually the reason why Dante owes Lady money. You see that referenced in Devil May Cry 4, and you see it referenced a lot in the animated series that was very short-lived. Because he blew up her motorcycle. Alright, well, thank you for watching mission number 14, and I'm going to have mission number 15 up pretty soon. So stay tuned for that, and again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, share, whichever you like to do. And I'll see you then. Thanks.